well-established Rich coming right back at you. And today we talking about Meek Mill and Charlamagne the God and how a simple comment turned into a whole situation. This whole thing started with an opinion, not a personal attack. Charlamagne the God said Meek Mill never fully recovered from the Drake battle. He was speaking on how people see him today, not what he accomplished.
When Drake went at Meek, Drake was a way bigger artist than Meek. So it was easier for those battles just to keep moving because there's nothing but upside. Nas, you win with Ether, right? Even though I think Takeover's a better song, but Nas, you win with Ether. So it's nothing but upside for you, right?
Yeah.
Sadly, Pac and Biggie got,
the smaller guy always has the upside.
Meek never. I don't know.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying. Like, Meek could have just kept doing music, but for some reason he didn't. Like, something was just off after the battle. You know what I mean? And he really, I mean, honestly, he didn't really
He never recovered.
Yeah, it's strange.
Maybe he made a lot of money, though.
He kind of recovered when he got with Nicki, and then it fell off again.
No, they broke up right after that.
I know, but he was like having songs out and everything.
You know what it was with Meek, man? Meek's Achilles heel to me was actually Twitter.
Yeah, for sure.
And when Drake called him Twitter fingers, no, what did he say? What was it? Was it Twitter fingers?
Yeah,
right?
Twitter fingers.
When he called them Twitter fingers.
Trigger finger turned to Twitter fingers.
Trigger finger turned to Twitter fingers. And it's just like every time Meek tweets, even
it's
now,
crazy,
to
bro.
this day.
It's crazy. It's pure entertainment.
And I Meek, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I think Meek does a lot for his community. You know, he's been a great, symbol for the city of Philly. I love what he does with reform. But I probably would have deleted my Twitter after Twitter fingers. And just flooded the streets with nothing but music.
You're forgetting the Diddy stuff too?
Guys, we're insane to talk every week.
What?
We're insane to talk every week.
But we're podcasters.
Twitter, only Elon makes money.
That comment was about perception. A person can still have success and lose a certain field. A person can still win and not have the same presence. The idea is real whether people like it or not. And it exists in every level of entertainment. Meek Mill responded from a different place. He responded like his career was being disrespected. He started naming his accomplishments. He started defending his place in the game. The points about his success were valid, but those points did not address what was actually said. The original comment was about image. The response was about achievement. Those are two different conversations. A person can be successful and still have a shift in perception. A person can be accomplished and still be viewed differently. This situation didn't come out of nowhere. This is something that has been building over time. There have been multiple moments on social media. There have been times where what Meek did shifted how people saw him.
Not you got your ass beat hopping around looking like the from coming to America.
Why are you doing buddy hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis.
To the gangster?
You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud.
This the wrong time.
Count out loud.
30.
Huh?
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42.
Keep going. Keep going.
7, 8, 9, 1, 2.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't cheat on your buddy hops. They suck. Your buddy hops suck. You got your...
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah. Go for it.
Those moments didn't touch his talent. They affected his image. Image is part of your career. Image is not separate from your music. People don't break you into sections. They form one complete opinion of you. Every public moment adds to that opinion. Every response plays a role in that image. Charlamagne the God was speaking from that perspective. He was talking about the total package, not just music. And that type of comment will always hit different and always feel personal. The response is what a situation grew. The response brought other people into the issue. The response moved away from the original comment. And when a response expands like that, the message gets lost. And when the message gets lost, the focus shifts. The focus stops being the comment. The focus becomes the reaction. And that shift happens quickly in public situations. And it is hard to reverse once it starts.
He's in the closet gay man that hates successful black men unless he's doing business with them. But they promoted I'm gay. And I'm helping pop like 10 artists off on the East Coast. No cash for gain for charity. I'm really the one, but it's some real propaganda on my brand. And I want to investigate it.
Dropping the clues bombs from Meek Mill. I never said he didn't drop any music. I said if I was Meek, I would have deleted my Twitter and just kept dropping music. I would only talk through the music because every single time Meek posts, the internet turns it into a joke. Y'all was just laughing at him last week because he posted about being on LinkedIn.
Yeah, they were.
And I said on Brilliant Idiots, the propaganda. I didn't say propaganda, but I said the way they act with Meek is strange, and I agree with Meek. The propaganda against Meek is strange, and it started with that battle. And at least on social media, the narrative around him hasn't recovered.
It started with the battle. The sad thing about Meek is he gets busy, he gets nice, he puts out great music. He's an inspiration to a lot of these artists. G Herbo said he's the reason why he even wanted to get into music. But sadly, because of everything that's been going on with social media after that beef, he's been the butt of a lot of people's jokes.
Regardless of what he does. And he does some great things. We always give Meek credit for the great things.
And it doesn't matter what he does.
He drops too, because there has been music that I feel like people didn't like. Remember the Heathens? Like there was a lot of things that he dropped.
Championships, wins and losses, even though that was almost 10 years ago, that was a great project. I do agree with Meek. The propaganda against him is strange.
Yes, it's horrible.
And it started with that battle, at least on social media, right? And the narrative around him on social media is what I mean when I say he hasn't fully recovered.
Right.
Because he's done some amazing stuff.
He has. He sells out arenas. He sells out. He does a lot of dope-ish. But like you said, the propaganda around him is taking what he's done and what he's built and tries to make a mockery of it. So
every time he posts.
If you're Meek, you understand why he would be upset.
The advice given was stick to music. That advice was about direction, not disrespect. Social media responses create more attention. Every response adds to the narrative. Every response can either help or hurt your position. This situation comes down to control. Control of your image and control of your response. No one can control every opinion. Everyone can control how they respond to opinions. Responses shape perception over time. Consistency shapes perception even more. The timing of this comment was questionable. It was no clear reason for Charlamagne to bring that up at that moment. That part is understandable from Meek's perspective, but a comment can feel unnecessary and still be valid. This is where people have to separate emotion from analysis. Not every critical comment is an attack. Not every opinion is a coordinated move. Some observations come from what people see over time. This situation is about perception management. This situation is about how artists handle criticism. Criticism will always exist at the highest level. Responses will always define how that criticism lands. And that's what this story really is. Not in the comments, but in the response. This is about how moments turn into narratives. A single statement can pass by quickly. A reaction can make it last longer than it should. Some situations grow because of how they handle. This one grew. This one turned into something bigger. When energy gets added, people start paying more attention. When people pay more attention, the story keeps expanding. This is where strategy matters. This is where discipline matters. Not every moment needs a reply. Not every opinion needs to be corrected in real time. Action is always stronger than an argument. A person can say anything about you, but what you do after that defines how long it lasts. Because this is where the conversation gets deeper. This is about long-term positioning. Careers are not built on single moments. Careers are built on patterns over time. The way you handle pressure becomes part of your story. The way you handle criticism becomes part of your image. This ain't just about one artist. This is about how artists move in general. The higher the level, the more opinions you're gonna face. The more opinions you face, the more control you need. And control don't mean silence. Control means choosing when and how to speak. Timing is part of control. Tone is part of control. Intent is not always clear from the outside. Impact is what people respond to first. The impact of the comment was strong, but the reaction to it made it stronger. What could have been a short discussion became a long one. This is how stories develop in real time. Now we can see both sides clearly. Charlamagne the God spoke on perception. Meek Mill defended his achievements. One focused on how things looked, and one focused on what was done. Both positions have truth in them, but both positions missed each other. When two people talk from different angles, they don't connect. When they don't connect, the situation continues. Clarity only comes when both sides address the same point. So the focus is what was lost here. A direct response to the exact point would have shifted the narrative. A controlled response would have limited the story. When you lose your focus, the message gets diluted. And when the message gets diluted, the people draw their own conclusions. Public perception is not built in one day. Every interview adds to it. Every post adds to it. Every response becomes part of the record. Every decision shapes how people see you. This is why image matters just as much as output. This is why movement matters just as much as music. A strong catalog can carry you far, but a weak public image can hold you back. The two work together. The two affect each other constantly. This situation clearly shows that. This situation puts that on display. The music is not in question. The responses are what is always in question. When the response becomes the story, the focus shifts. And when the focus shifts, the narrative changes. This is where adjustment comes in. This is where growth comes in. Every artist goes through criticism. Every artist has moments like this. What separates them is how they handle it. What separates them is what they do next. Moving forward requires clarity. The next step matters more than the last response. The next decision will shape the next conversation. Every story has a turning point. Every career has moments that need adjustment. This is one of those moments. This is one of those decisions. What happens next will matter more than what just happened now. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.